recap. Well, it's actually a 2-week recap on my trades. I want to go over kind of what I did, what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong, and just show you really the difference between kind of trading and following the rules and stuff like that. Okay, so to begin with, this is 2 weeks, and in the 2 weeks I'm up about 8, 9. It's a little less than that because the commissions aren't exactly accurate. This is my P&L entry Excel file, and this is TradeNet backend where this is showing you this week basically. So what you have there is $5,041 for the week. Basically, it breaks down as you can see here. There was 35 tickets, whatever. So 21,000 bought, 21,000 sold. So I grossed $5,294, and the commissions on there were 240, and then 63 routing fees. They just call them routing fees. And so that's the balance there. I'm up to 250, 498.82, but 5,000 in news this week. But this is kind of the breakdown of the trades. Now, where you see, so basically this works, so that's 15 is 1,500. Where you see 7.5, that's because I kind of sold multiple times in a trade. I took partials. And one of the issues about that is that this Excel file doesn't really support that. So I'm kind of cramming in the figure to get the balance right, if you know what I mean. The trade is right and the balance is right and the time is right, but the share size might be slightly off. So that's what I'm saying. There might be a slight variance in this 2-week figure, but not by much. Anyways, let's break it down. So as you can see here on Monday, I wrote down some rules here, okay, or some notes. On Monday, I took a trade at 9.42. I went short on Roku, 126.62, and closed it out at 127.11 for a loss. So that was 735. So what happened? I got in too early. I would have won if I waited. So that was where I was looking at. I can actually pull that up. So the 11th to the 5th, 42, right? So 9.42 here, I got short. And what happened was I got in low. So I'm going to pull actually this Excel file onto a different monitor here so I can see it easier. There we go. So I got in 126.62 at 9.42, 126.62. And it basically pulled back to, I didn't give it, 127.62. It basically pulled back $1. So it would have been, that's what I mean by would have won. It would have been a winning trade, but I got stopped out. And you have to follow your rules because that could have gone up and kept going and going and going. So that was, I stopped out in here somewhere at 127.11, which was up here. That's fine. Not much to go, but what can you do? That's hindsight, right? So the next trade was at 56. And this, I won this trade, 9.56. Which was fine. My entry was 126.85. Yeah, good entry on that, and then stopped out too early. So third one was 10.16, which was probably a short. Must have been, yes, a short at 128.71. Nice and high on that, and got. So I didn't give it the full cent, and it won by $1. So basically, what happened there was I sold half, probably coming down, and then it came back to my entry point, and I let it go. I sold out, and then it came down the full $1. And so what you're getting there is my unwillingness to even to be in the red. That's the problem with that trade. Nothing wrong with the trade, right? So what happened was I went short 128.71. Right, which was a good high entry, okay, and took a partial, right, that's fine. And then I said to myself, so that went down, what, 82 cents. So I probably took a partial somewhere 50 or 60 cents. And then it was coming back up, and I was unwilling to lose any money on that. That can be a flaw, and you'll see it here, right? I do it a lot. And then it went down if I stayed in to 79 cent. Wait. Yeah, so 79 cents. So there you go. So it kind of worked out anyways to take the money. But you can see here if I'd have stayed in it. So was the pullback 50 cent, just about 50 cent there, but it eventually went down $1.20. So as you can see here, this is me breaking my rules, okay? Got in too early, stopped out too early, didn't give it 50 cent. Perfect. That was a perfect trade. You can see it was almost the full $1 on that, 91 cent as well, okay? Signal was wrong, lost. Got in 2 minutes early, didn't let it ride $1, so didn't get, like, left behind $1,000 basically. Got in 2 minutes too late, too high, so stopped out. Signal was wrong, got in, so broke the rules. Didn't hit $1, so didn't let it run basically. Got in too high, broke the rules and lost. Okay trade, didn't wait for the signal, so I got in early on that one. I'd say that was a perfect one. And then I had my red day. So this is a red day here. The reason these are different colors is just so you can read them easier. You can see they're grouped by days, but the red days then are red. So this was just a bananas trade. Got into this at 9:44, and I wrote down WTF. So what the right? Let's have a look at the 15th. And let's just see what happened on that. So I actually clearly remember this. So here's what happened. This blah blah blah, left it alone, watching it all come down. Let the first move happen, okay? And then what happened was I said to myself, this is looking weak here. This is looking great now. I think I'm going to short in here because I'm a genius. And the market just went no and just took a full 52 cent off me. Stopped out that way. But then what I did was at 46, which was in here, I got long. Long 115.22. So up in here. Now that was long on the high side, really, but not much over the VWAP. The VWAP was 22 cents. It's not great, but anyways. And I always say that as well, guys. If a move fails and doesn't go the way you want it to go, and then the next move sets up, you got to get in. So I got stopped out on the first one at 14.90, which was up here. And I got straight back in the same minute at 22. So that's why there was like it wasn't as close to the VWAP, because in the process of losing, I had to decide where I was going to, if I was going to get back in, and that's a big decision. It normally you need a candle or a minute or something arbitrary, but anyways, got back in and won 1,125 on that. Right. So at that point on this red day, I was up $345. So the next trade I got into was Roku short 1004. This one here, right? So let's have a look at this. This was crazy trading. Okay, I'll pull it up here. So 1004 here. Now, no real problem with this. That's the entry was 115. So entry was a little low, to be honest, but fine. Entry was low and it pulled back. So where did I get out? 115.30. Okay, so I'm assuming that I got stopped, or that it went back up here, came back down, because I got in at 115. This is 115.53, and then it probably came back down here, and I'm assuming I stayed in, and I got stopped out in here at 30, because that's where the background changed color. So there was kind of in a bit low, but 30 cent loss, so not the worst loss. In fact, a good loss, really. And then that was that. Then I moved on to BA, and I was watching it, and I said, I can get a bit of that. I want to slice it out. So 10.12. I went long 10.12. 10.12 at 120.04. Yeah, nice and high too. And it just based. Now, the move itself was right, but 120.04 down to 119 was just $1. I didn't give it $1, so too early and didn't give $1. So basically, if I had gotten in at the VWAP, maybe it would have been fine, and that went up and didn't really do much. But I suppose in the end, yeah, you got 120.98, so nearly $1. But I'd switched stocks and I lost 52 cents on that. Instead of giving it, if I gave it $1, I could have made profit on it. So broke the rules on that. So then I went to Beyond. At this stage now, I'm severely over trading. Okay, I'm down one, up one, and down another one. So that's 3. Sorry, I'm not over trading yet. 4. Sorry, I'm down 3 and up 1. But I'm like, no, I'm going to keep going. So 10.20 here. So right here in BA, I go short 137.75. So low on that. And again, there's a high probability that this background changed to red at the time. But anyways, I got out at 138.18. Sorry, 11. Now, 75, that was $1 pullback, and I always say to myself, I need to give it $1. Now, would I have made the move eventually? I could actually, technically, yes, if I had given it $1, and I got in there at 10.20, which was here, at 137.75, here, and I sat through that $1, which would have been tough. A better trader would have made that money. That's a $2 move, because I've seen lads sitting in it, right, and it goes ooh, and it goes up and down and up and down. They're just sitting in it. I get emotional and I'm like, oh, I'll take it, I'll take it. And look at, they're just up here is 91 cent. So if you gave that $1, it would have spiked up to there, and then it would have spiked down to here, which would have been 70 cents. You would have been okay, and you would have been getting lows of, you know, 50 cents. You could have taken, you wouldn't have got 50 cent there really, but if you just waited, right, like you should, like it's telling you to do, $2 move, right? So anyways, lost on that. So this is my red day. Lost the first one, which was 780. Won the second one, which was 1,125. Lost the third, fourth, and fifth, which was 450, 780, and 540. I was down over $1,000. I was like, I have to stop. I have to stop. This is madness. I have to stop. And I took one more trade on Beyond. Was this the smart thing to do? I don't know. I don't know. You know what? Like, if you think you can do it, 1024. So here, I actually took it in here. And I went short again on Beyond. So what happened was I saw it spiking up, and then I saw the short and the short label come in and the red background, and I said I'm going for it, and got short in here 137.95 right here. Okay, probably VWAP break, and I only got $735 on it, so 95. And this is what's killing me in trading. Watch this. This is what's killing me in trading all the time. Short 68 cent, and then do I give it? So once I make 50 cent, here's my biggest flaw. Once I make 50 cent or 60 cent or 70 cent, I'm refusing to go back into the red. And it's to my detriment sometimes, but I'm so nervous about being up, let's say, you know, $400 or $500, and then giving it all back. Now, what I should be doing is like, up 400 or 500, that's fine. If it goes back, it goes back. Maybe give it all back, or maybe make the full move. And I'm looking at it, I'm looking at my notes here, and I think they're nearly all the ones are basically would have been winners. So what happens here, I go short, I make my 50 cent, it spikes back up to my entry, I stop out, that's it done. Not interested in the trade. So that's one of my major flaws. So that was it anyways. I got $735 back on that, and I was happy to close out. Right, then the last, that was Friday. So Monday, took a trade Beyond, really small win, $456. And I kind of find that my winning days after a red days are much smaller because I'm afraid to lose any money. So this is this week's one, okay? This is this week in here. So you can see there, made 420 and came out with 385. Okay, that's fine. The worst one was the losing one where I lost 130 here, and the commissions and all that brought it up to 227. But that was just kind of like a bad day, really. So you can see here, won the first one. Okay, and then the next three. These figures, again, remember, are slightly off. The broker figures are the real figures. These are slightly off because I'm taking partials and I'm cramming in the numbers, just trying to make them work. But what's very important is the accuracy and stuff like that. We'll go over that in a minute. On Tuesday, I won 3 in a row, so I was chuffed. On Wednesday, then, I took 4 trades. This was Beyond. So Beyond went straight in, lost a full 95 cent. Really, really mad at myself. Went for kind of a breakout and it blew up my face. That was at 35. 37 went short, got $1.03 on that, and that happened so fast I took the whole dollar. Then the third trade, Roku, lost 53 cents, and then the fourth trade, 1,001. So I was up 115. So the win on that was a $480 winner roughly. Then on Thursday, red day, lost 360, 1960, lost 705, lost 660, 1885. So it came out with 165. I think it was $130. 1 second. Yeah, there. That was a 227 down. 130. Then commissions and everything. 227. And finally, we have yesterday 1,500. One win. So I'm up about 8 on 2 weeks, right? But so I basically have grossed in 2 weeks 18,395, and of that I've lost 9,450. That's probably on the bad side of my trading. Okay, I'm not trading very well. I am net of these two only, not commissions. 8,945, let's say, right? And there's about 500 commissions in that. But here's what my stats look like: 32 trades. Okay, 19 wins, 13 losses. That's a 59.38% average. Now, you'd look at that and you'd say 59.38%, that's not great. That's actually quite, I mean, people are asking me, do you have 70%? I'm not going to trade something if it's not 70, or a system if it's not 70% accurate. But what I would say to you is that it's all about your P&L ratio. This figure right here. This is the real figure, okay? Right in here is the real one, because your accuracy, you can be 30% accurate, okay? And if you're doing like 3-1 or 4-1, then every trade you win. So basically what this is saying here is that every trade I lose, every trade I win, 1.95 to 1, I can lose 1.95 trades to break even on that. And if I'm over 50%, I'm profitable. Okay, so let me kind of put that back into perspective for you. It's nearly 2-1, which means for every trade I win, I can lose 2. Okay, I can lose 1.95, but let's call it 2 to round it up. Okay, and that's my goal. 2-1 is my goal, and it's because the amount I win versus the amount I lose. Here you can see it there, 18 with 9, and I'm left with that. Now, then all I have to be is more than 50% accurate. Again, and that's where it really starts to compound. And I am usually about 68, 70. You can see these red days where I started over trading, and it really messes with your P&L on that. It was about 68%. So 45,000 shares traded, 32 trades, and losing is 40.63. And that's basically what my account looks like, and what my stats look like for the last 2 weeks. This week as well, I suppose, how many did I lose this week? 1, 2, 3, 5 trades. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so it's about average, really, over the last 2 weeks. My wins are bigger than my losers, and I win more than I lose. That's the essence of trading. It is that if you can win more than you lose and win more money than you lose per trade, that's all you can hope for. So it's a small loser, and my worst winning days are like $450. That's a terrible win day for me. Like, whereas the good one is like 2,000. So if my losers are like half my losing days are half my winning days, so half my worst winning days, that's great. So that's kind of what I wanted to go over with you guys, especially those new in the chat room, just to kind of show you what a good, averagely good kind of stats look like. Okay, accuracy isn't great, but accuracy is not everything. P&L ratio for me is the most important. If this was 1-1, then this balance would be much, much smaller. Okay, and so this then would be super important. But that's almost 60%, and that's almost 2-1. And I think you ask around, that's a good accuracy, and it's an averagely good accuracy, almost 60, and 1.95 to 1 is very good. So guys, that's basically it. If you need a trial of TrendSpotter, just see the details below. Call over to us on Discord. We're live 5 days a week. But reach out to me. You can live trade alongside us. Give it a go. There's a free trial at the moment. And yeah, any comments, I welcome them below. If anybody wants to sign up to TradeNet or any more info, call into the Discord chat room and we'll have a chat in there. Okay? Talk to you in the next one.